Okay, for tonight, we have jacked up the engine on the engine hoist. I'm taking off the accessories, which basically in this case is just the alternator. We'd already taken the fan off. I'm going to go ahead and paint the engine again with the correct color. It's close. The color they used was really close, but it's not the right color. And since we're going to try to make this thing as close to original as possible, we're going to go ahead and use a product. It's called Turquoise Engine, high temperature. Came from, where'd it come from, Joe? Classic Industries. Bought a lot of stuff for this engine. Carburetor, plugs, distributor, cap, rotor, coil, the whole 9 yards we bought from Classic. It's an easy place to go and find the parts that you need, especially for these Mopar. I know they probably have Chevrolet as well. So I'll quit advertising for them. So anyways, I went to a store, I'm not gonna call the name, Joe's smiling. I went to a store, I bought me an engine leveler, I also bought me an engine stand. For the purposes of painting the engine, I'm just gonna use the lift. That way I can kind of turn it around and manipulate it the way I want it. Once I get it painted, dried, on Saturday of this week, it's Wednesday today, on Saturday, it's Tuesday, right? Tuesday. On Saturday, we're gonna come out, we're gonna put a starter on it. We're going to get it ready to see if we can get this thing to fire, put the carb on it, the whole 9 yards, see if we can get the timing right. So tonight, what you'll see me doing is just getting it prepped for the paint job. So over here, I'm taking off the alternator. And Joe, you be careful around this motor. The engine stand, I think it's safe, or not the stand, but the lift. But there's a lot of weight there. All right.
All right.
The brackets and so forth that go with this alternator. I actually think I have a better looking alternator somewhere. With the alternator, we will paint all the brackets, paint them black. So I bought some turquoise. I bought some gloss black, which we'll do all our brackets with. I'm just gonna let that hang there. Thank you, Brooks. Without mashing my toes. I am acting like I'm on the Roadkill show. I have flip-flops on. What's that guy's name that does the flip-flop? David Freiberger. Joe is a avid follower of the Roadkill episodes. I've watched them all too. So anyways, probably should have used a ratchet for this, but I got a ratchet on the other end of my whatever you call it, wrench. So it should just ratchet right out.
The noise in the background, Sophie, our miniature Dachshund, Dapper Dan, our miniature Dachshund, and Heidi, our German Shepherd.
Yep. And they're actually, one of them is I think gonna be the mascot for Dog Tired Customs. Maybe.
Dapper Dan?
Dapper Dan, maybe, yep.
He's beautiful. He's my little buddy.
So we have a marketing firm that's doing a custom logo for us for Dog Tired Customs. And it's just, not only am I wasting all this money on these old cars, waste money on having a logo for a hobby. Anyways, having fun with it. Here it is, alternator. Gosh, it's pretty rough. Somewhere here or at the other shop, I have another alternator, a known good alternator that we'll probably put back on this thing. So I'm gonna lay it over here with the carburetor. I'm gonna put the bolt in here, Joe.
Okay.
This is the carburetor that came with it. You know, may work if we rebuild it. I am not a mechanic. This is backyard mechanicing. So I just bought a new new carburetor for this thing. I'll show it to you when I pull it out later. But that way we've got a known good, tested carburetor that will hopefully save a lot of trouble in dealing with this engine that we know absolutely nothing about. Now, we have been told that this engine was freshened up, whatever that means. I think what they were doing is using sales puffery to get as much money as they could out of this old jalopy. But anyways, we'll see. Hopefully they did freshen it up, and you know, they did a good job with it. What I can tell you just by looking at it is the engine, so they did paint it after they put it back together, it looks like, but it is dry. All of the seals are dry, not leaking any oil. So I think, I guess for the most part, it's in pretty decent shape. So I'm gonna lay my wrench right there. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna take the distributor out. So one little bolt here. This little piece here, once you get your distributor, get your timing where you want it, you tighten it down, your distributor stays in place. See that? Not much to it. This should just pull right out. And, yep, hey, we're gonna get to see on the inside of the engine right there. There's that. We'll clean all that up before we put it back together. So Saturday, I've got a young man coming. I think he's 12 or 13, wants to be a mechanic when he grows up. His mother is she's my office manager at my real job. And he wanted to come up and help me work on this thing. So I'm gonna let him turn some wrenches and put some parts on this thing. It'll be a good experience for him. All right, what I'm doing right now, not that it probably wouldn't hurt anything if I didn't do it, but I'm going to take these holes off for the carburetor, the intake, and once I get that taped up, I'm pretty close to being ready to start spraying this thing. Okay, I found some tape that I can actually tear. White duct tape, who knew? So we're just gonna cover this up, just keep the most of it out. Maybe it'll keep it. Probably the paint wouldn't hurt it, but just the dust that would potentially maybe blowing around here with this paint can, it'll keep it out. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's all going to be covered up by a gasket. Okay, so we're going to replace this old oil filter. The motor mounts. The motor mounts, I'm just going to paint the green color. Excuse me. All right, we're going to start a paint job here. Just take our time and paint it. Try to keep it from running. Like I say, this engine has been painted and it is in fairly good shape. Joe, I don't know if you can get a shot of this. This is a turquoise, an old turquoise green color. This is the turquoise that the color that was actually used on these engines in 1967. Yep. That looks pretty nice. You know, the cool thing about painting these engines is there's so many different crevices and it's rough. You don't have to be an expert to do this. It's amazing how much a coat of paint actually helps these things and the way they look sitting in the car. So Joe, you know, I said earlier that we didn't know what really been done to this engine. So we pulled the transmission off of it earlier. It's got a brand new freeze plug in it. So I do believe it's been refreshed, freshened, whatever that means. But a brand new freeze plug here, no rust, brand spanking new, just as shiny as it can be. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be everything they said it was going to be.
Hope so.
You know, at the end of the day, this engine, if it has been rebuilt, easily worth $1,500. Somebody that's looking for a 1967 440 engine. Got paper towel stuffed in the exhaust ports here just so we don't get paint on the inside of the engine. These plugs are coming out, so we're just going to paint over them. Going to put new plugs in. Man, this shines like new money.
Looking good.
How's it looking, Joe?
Looking really good. You paint the oil pan too?
Yep. I've got, I don't know, a couple, I think I bought 2 or maybe 3 cans of this. It'll take probably 2 good cans. Yeah, all these freeze plugs are new. I'm gonna be high as a kite.
Yeah, stinks. There's
Don't
Heidi.
do this at home, folks. Don't
Heidi?
sniff paint.
There's Heidi. There's our Sophie. Dapper Dan's outside still. There comes our Dapper Dan.
Come on, dog tired.
Come on, buddy. That's my boy.
Got most of it.
It's good.
All right, Joe, I'm gonna pull this thing back in the garage here where the lights are on it, and you can get a good shot of it here. Watch your toes. Okay. Go ahead and we'll walk around. Looks pretty good for amateur.
Not bad for a first go around.
Yep. So I'll probably, between now and Saturday, I'll put another coat on it. Again, I had a good coat of paint on it where they refreshed it. You know, I'm looking inside this engine and it looks absolutely brand new through this distributor hole here. So I'm pretty stoked about that. We'll see how it all works out, but definitely, I think it's exactly what they said it was. It's been rebuilt, put back together for this car, and abandoned for lack of time, money, all the things that people abandon these things for.